Hubert, in the last couple of years, you've reached the pinnacle on the doorstep of a title, and then not made the tournament. So how have you dealt with that pendulum swing of emotion of coaching at this high level?
Well, that's life. I mean, there are going to be sunny days, and there's also going to be, rainy and windy days as well. And so that's something that's always going to happen. I think the key thing is whether it's a sunny day or a rainy or windy day, how do you respond and how do you react? And how did we respond and how do we react when we got to the championship game? And it's going to be how we respond and how we react after not making the NCAA tournament last year. And so I really love this group. I love the competitiveness, the hunger, the desire to not get back to the championship game, but to be the best team that this group can possibly be.
It's rare, but we're in a new era where guys come back, even if they don't have a great year as a team or individual, and you've got a core that returned. Why do you think that is?
Well, I think for, RJ and Armando, they want to leave a legacy at Carolina. You talked about what they experienced, the experience of highs. And they do. They want to have those emotions and those feelings and those experiences again. Also, and I know people don't talk about this, they like college. They like Carolina. And so they enjoy being a part not only of this program, but this university and this community. And so I just remember when I was at Carolina and I got drafted in the first round and I waited to the last day to be able to go up to the New York Knicks and for training camp because I didn't want to leave. That's how special Carolina and being a part of this program is.
Speaking of Armando, unbelievable career.
He's got more to do.
Right. So tell me, what's your assessment of what he's been able to accomplish so far?
Well, I never thought that, Armando or anybody would, that would be the all-time leading rebounder. I thought that was a record that just could not have been broken. And for Armando to do it and absolutely destroy it is just a credit to his hard work and the type of player and type of person that he is. To say that you would have a guy at that caliber at Carolina for 5 years, it's something that you never would have guessed coming into his freshman year. But anything that's possible in terms of getting everything on and off the court from a Carolina basketball player, Armando has done that. But what drives him is this is his last year. He wants to end on a great note, and that's the reason why he wanted to come back.
How have you managed the transfers in, the transfers out, and still getting the high-profile freshmen, building this roster that can be competitive at the highest level?
Well, it's free agency. It is what it is. It's not the transfer portal, and it's a part of college basketball now. And, since I became head coach, there's been the birth of a lot of things, the transfer portal, the extra COVID year, which hasn't been given enough talk in terms of the impact that it's had on teams and programs, the birth of NIL, the involvement of agents. And so there's a number of things that are in play that are a part of college basketball, and the transfer portal is part of that. I think it's important to have diversity. I think it's important to have foundation guys that have been there at Carolina and then bringing in freshmen to continue that, but also mix in transfers that are a little older, more experienced, and ready to play right away.
You just rattled off a lot of things, but not actually on the floor. So how have you balanced the actual coaching with all these other things that are swirling around throughout the course of a year? Well,
that's a part of noise. And I tell the players all the time that you got to turn down the noise from the phone, the family, the friends, and the college basketball fans. And all those things are a part of college basketball and a part of my job, but the main thing is the main thing, and that's on the court. And so nothing jeopardizes our preparation, our practice, and our play on the court, making sure we're getting it done out there when we're playing.
2 years ago, when you guys were in the championship game, it was a blue blood Final Four. Last April, outside of UConn, it was sort of, new faces in there. How much do you think we're sort of in that era now where we might have one year where it's all familiar brand names, another year where it could be 4 newbies?
Well, I think that's part of the transfer portal and the extra COVID year that that helps teams continue to stay strong and to build right away. And so it's not a surprise to me to see San Diego State or a Florida Atlantic team get to the Final Four and have a chance to win a national championship. And so a lot of people talk about parity, and there is, but there always has been. There's good guards everywhere. The main difference between us and maybe mid-majors is the lack of size. But in terms of skill and guard play, there's good guards everywhere. And so when you're in the NCAA tournament, it's a one-game scenario, anything can happen.
And lastly, very few coaches have a handle on what makes an NBA player like you.
Yeah.
You lived it, you breathed it, it's in your family, you experienced it personally. How do you convey that to these young men about what it really takes to get to that level? Because that's obviously where they want to be.
Yeah, but it takes being dominant and being good in college first. The jump from high school to playing at our level is huge. And a lot of people don't understand the level that we're playing at. It's a big jump. But to play at the NBA level, there's a type of production and preparation and practice that you have to put into place in college first. I never thought about it, Andy. I've never been one of those forward thinkers. Wherever I was, I wanted to be the best that I could be wherever I was at. So when I was at Carolina, let me see if I can reach everything that I can, get all the potential out of me possible. And if it happens to be good enough to play in the NBA, it is what it is. And so one of the things that I talk about to guys all the time is you're here at Carolina now. Be the best basketball player that you can become. And if you are, you'll be, at the end of the day, be able to reach your ultimate dream and goal is, and that's to play in the NBA.